it hard?
It's where you can unleash your inner voice with Arthur, Nikki, Nicole. People ask me all the time why I do what I do. My vision is to shine a light on everyday people, great people, so that we all can win.
Hey, is it hard?
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Breaking the Silence with Arthur, Nikki, Nicole, where you can unleash your inner voice. So today's guest is Marlon Thomas, better known as Marlo G. He is a father, a musician, a personal and group fitness instructor, and a martial artist. Yeah, he got a lot going on. So after this countdown, please welcome this amazing gentleman to the stage.
Alright, let's stretch it out. Give thanks and praise. Alright. Can't move around too much in here. It's been a minute. Gotta get in it. In and out of town. Know it's going down. On another mission. Back to the roots. Focus on the fundamentals. Trying to seek the truth over decades worth of work. These are the fruits, the boosts is where I drop them, giving gems out. I got them, whoever's listening, see I know what's missing. Just gotta play my part, stepping into my purpose. Light up out the dark, spark, see, just gotta focus. Feel the energy, that's how it be. For people like me, when you start from scratch. But just a pot to pissin', but it's built on your back. Through the whips and the lynchings, who they kidding? It's really sickening.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for being a guest on Breaking the Silence.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about who Marlo G is.
Oh man. I always have a tough time answering this question. It gets me thinking about like what do people like how you define yourself, you know? So let me try to answer it in the best way I can. First and foremost, I'm a father. Um, I'm a spouse, I'm a son, I'm a man. But really I'm just, a guy that has a bunch of different interests, and I try to invest in myself and invest in my interests. So I'm a musician. Um, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a group fitness instructor. Um, I'm a certified life coach. I am a martial artist. Uh, I got many things I do. Still dabble a little bit of podcasting myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm just an overall creative. I would say I'm just a creative, an artist in the true sense that I like to find different canvases and work my art that way. So yeah,
Wow.
I'm a guy, but I'm also an artist as well.
Wow. All that going on. Just a jack of all trades. Wow.
So,
So what drew you to the music industry?
just an appreciation for music in general and like how much it's had an influence on my life, both positively and negatively, and just realizing the power that music has, to sway and influence people, and just kind of wanting to be able to use that medium as one of the ways I kind of, express myself and tell my story. I feel like I got, a certain perspective on the world and a wisdom that people need to hear. So I'm just trying to find the best ways, the best outlets to do that, and music was definitely one of those.
Okay, so tell me about back was it back against the wall? Tell me about that song. I love that song. I love the beat and everything, the lyrics and everything. I play that on repeat for the past few days. I just been playing it. Tell me the background of that song. Why did you write that song?
um, just I was in a phase where I was doing a lot of reflecting, um, and I was thinking about like some of the things that stops me from accomplishing the goals or accomplishing like certain tasks I set out for myself. And you can always play the victim card. You can always say, oh, like woe is me, I got this going on, I got that going on. But everybody's worst case or most devastating experience is literally the worst thing they've ever been through.
Mm-hmm.
So just because what they've been through and what you've been through, comparing like the two things, they might be completely different. How it impacts the person is the
Right.
same because it's literally the worst thing the person has ever been through. So they're devastated in the same way. So I had all these thoughts going, and I was trying to like sort it all out, trying to figure out how to like refocus myself and kind of just like stay on task with everything I had going on. So the concept of the song is to show the duality in that situation, where it's like
Mm,
you go through your everyday life, you try to get things done. You're gonna have certain obstacles that come up. There's certain things that set in place that makes it more difficult for you. But
mhm.
one, you're not the only person that's going through that. You know what I'm saying? There's other people that look like you that's going through that as well. You can't just throw your hands up and say, "Oh, it's against me, so I give up." But you can also recognize that it's there. You know what I'm saying? So you don't sweep it under the rug. So it's like you want the change to happen, so you got to recognize the problem. But because the circumstance is what it is, and you want to progress, you can't allow that problem to stop. So that's why I get all the way to the end of the song, where it's like, now it's giving you choices back against the wall.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Hands up, hope they don't
Mhm.
shoot you, put you in the F position. It's like they putting you in these positions where they want you to go a certain way. Life wants you to make a mistake, give up. You know what I'm saying? Overspend, whatever it is. Like they push you in a
Mhm.
certain direction. You know it. What are you gonna do about it?
Mm.
So it's just kind of like not necessarily like a call to action, but I wanted people to travel down the thought process throughout the
Right.
song. So you hear it at first and it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a bunch of stuff going on. Yeah, they're against me. But like, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to move on?
Right.
That's kind of what the song was. That's how it was inspired. That's the message I was trying to get across as I was
You
putting
did
it.
that. You did that because when I listen to every time you listen to a song, you're gonna always listen to the beat first. And then after you listen to the beat, then of course, then you listen to the lyrics because I like that beat. Okay, now let me see what he's talking about. So
Mhm.
I did get that from that song. Everything that you just said from listening to it like three times. First time I listened to the beat, like I said, and then the second time I listened to the lyrics. And then the third time I just put it together and I was like, yes, I love this song. So yeah, you did that. You definitely put
Thank
that
you.
message out there.
I appreciate
So
that. I appreciate that for real.
so what is the story behind besides the fact that Marlo is your well, not your first name, but it's like a nickname to your first name. What is the story behind your stage name?
So yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. So this I actually got that nickname. Somebody gave me that nickname in college. Um, for the longest, people just always just call me by my first name. Everybody just called me by my first name. I didn't really have a nickname that kind of stuck. And I had a homie on the same football team, my homie House. So shout out to House. I think he was from like New Jersey, New York. Like he was from up north. We went to school in North Carolina. Um, I think I was like on Twitter one day and I was talking about something. And he was just like, yo, whatever you say, yo, it's crazy, G. And I was like, Marlo G. I'm like, yo, that kind of got a ring to it. But it's just people that knew me, especially like folks that played on the same team as me, they had a certain level of respect for me because of how I carried myself. They knew I was a dude that, you know what I'm saying, I was always gonna get it done. You can always count on me, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm reliable, I'm gonna be the first one in, last one to leave. Like I'm gonna put in the work, I'm gonna lead by example. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna give my best effort, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna hold everybody to that standard because I carry myself that way. You know, and that just it earned me a lot of respect. Like even though like age wise, I was like younger than a lot of the dudes. How I carried myself, my life experience at that point, just kind of gave me like a older presence. And they respected that, you know what I'm saying? So they
Mhm.
just gave me that nickname because it's just like, yo, that's G over there. If G say it, like I trust it, you know what I'm saying? Like I just had a certain level of respect with the guys, even to this day. You know, people that know me, they got a certain level of respect for me because they've seen what I've been through. They've seen how I've been able to carry myself through, you know, adverse situations, how I've been able to overcome and prosper and still find a way to, you know, remain authentic and be myself. So it was like a respect thing. And it just kind of came together like that. The name sounded cool, it stuck. So now I tell people, you know, they ask me, oh, yo, what does the G stand for? I say it stands for everything. And what I mean by that is
I like
whatever
that.
is whatever is called for in this situation, I have a part of me that's able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm in a situation where
Wow.
I gotta get down, you know what I'm saying? I gotta handle my business, I gotta get a little
Mhm.
gangster, then the G stands for gangster, you know what I'm saying? If I'm in a situation where, you know, I'm with the family and I'm trying to show them different experiences, or, you know, I'm just taking care of business and I need to be a gentleman, the G stands for gentleman, you know, and everything in between. So that's where it
Nice.
came from. That's what I turned it into, and that's what it is right now.
Nice. I like that. I like that's very unique the way you broke that down. A gentleman and a gangster. You gotta, it's everything. So whatever the situation is, that G stands for it. I like that. I like that. So what sets you apart and makes you unique in the music industry?
um, I mean, ultimately, that would be up to the fans to decide. I just try to be my most authentic self when I make music. So even if I'm like influenced by a sound or a style or like a certain like genre or you know something that's going on, I don't ever try to like mimic. I always absorb and then see how it authentically like affects me. So I try to
Mhm.
live in the moment when I make every record that I make. And what I mean by
Mm.
that is I try to allow my music to be like time capsule. Like this is who I am in 2023. This is who I was in April of 2022. You know what I'm saying? This is who I was
Right.
back in 2010 in the fall time. You know, like, and I just give exactly who I am. However, I'm
In that
trying to
moment.
like, you know, create the track. I just give exactly who I am in that moment. So, you
Mm.
know, what makes me different, I guess, or unique is just the fact that I go out of my way to try to be myself when I make music. And that could be hard sometimes because you know you want things to pop. You know, you want people to
Mm-hmm.
hear it. You want it
Yep.
to, you know, get a lot of plays and stuff. And you see certain things working, and the algorithm pushes certain things. And it's not even like you consciously making a choice, but you're so easily swayed. So you
Right.
actually have to like swim against stream a little bit to be yourself sometimes. But I take
I
pride in
agree.
that. Like you know, I'm the guy that I'll go in the trenches and do the work because I know the lessons I'm going to learn from that is going to propel me so much further once I get back on. You know what I'm saying? Like that even playing field. So I look at it like that. Like you're going to get me, or you're going to get my version of whatever is going on. So if you into that, if you into like hearing the story told a different way, if you're into enjoying something but from a different perspective, then that's what you're gonna get every single track.
And you know, there's not many artists out there that are genuine anymore. You know, they are money rules the world. So you have a lot of artists that buy into anything because they're trying to get to the top. So being the fact that you're genuine, I doubt that's gonna happen with you. You're gonna move carefully in this music industry because you know people will take advantage in this industry and it's sad.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's definitely been a path less traveled for sure. It's a lot
Hmm.
more work. You got to believe in yourself a lot more. You got to have a lot more patience. Um,
Hmm.
but I guess part of the blessing of you know being a jack of all trades and always having other things go on, I've never really been in a position where I was truly heartbroken because I wasn't where I felt like I should be in my music career.
Right.
Like I always took everything in stride, and you know what I'm saying, like the criticisms and you know what I'm saying, like the down parts of it. I always took everything in stride because I knew in order for me to get where I ultimately want to be, I have to go through these steps. And then throughout
Right.
my life in general, I've been dealing with different things that's kind of built up a certain level of like resistance. So, you know, both mentally and I guess like physically and spiritually in a sense, I'm just kind of like I can weather a certain level of storm without it really throwing me off my square.
On your
So,
mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I just chose to play the long game. Like I chose in my mind, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna keep it me, and I'm just gonna play the long game. And I tried to remain
Period.
consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's showing dividends. I know a lot of people that started when I started, reached higher heights, and then fizzled out. You know what I'm saying? And I just remained consistent, and I've slowly been able to build up like a true fan base. Which you know, if you'd have talked to me about this 5 to 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yeah, it would be nice, you know what I'm saying? But it happened organically, and it's just like I didn't have to sell myself short. I could just remain
Right.
myself, live my life, and then allow my life to give me stories, and then give those stories to the people, and they genuinely be like received, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
There it is. I love it. There it is. So what challenges, what's like the biggest challenge that you faced as an artist?
Um, the biggest challenge for me has been trying to find like my niche crowd, like the
Mm,
people that like to listen to music, the type of music or music that's similar to the music that I make. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that's
mhm.
a little bit more. I don't really want to call it conscious because it's not like I'm purposely trying to sell certain messages. But folks that just like to listen to people that rap a little bit more, or like storytellers, or folks that like to listen to lyrics, or folks that want to slow things down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Folks that are looking for like a
Mhm.
message or something behind like a catchy rhyme scheme and a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like folks that are a little bit deeper thinkers, you know? Um,
Mhm.
and
Analytical
then
thinkers. Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? And finding those are hard because those people are everywhere. It's not like, oh, all those people live in Charlotte, North Carolina, or all those people live in
Mhm.
Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Mhm.
in every city. How can I get to them? So the marketing part and trying to figure out the algorithms and you know what I'm saying, like how to market and what people other artists to try to attach myself to in order to get myself in those things. So that's been like the most difficult part. Because I know after a while, I got to the point where I was like, okay, yeah, I know my music is good. Like when I first started, it was still
Mhm.
kind of, you know, you shaky. You wondering if people will like what you're doing, if you sound cool, you
Mhm.
know, like all that type of stuff. And then I hit a certain point where I was just like, okay, I know I'm making good music. Now I just gotta get it to the people that want to listen. You know what I'm saying? I can't be trying to give the trap dudes, you know what I'm saying, songs that I'm talking about like real life shit, because they just like, bro, we're the, you know what I'm saying? They
Right.
rock with me because you know they the homies. We might have grew up together or whatever, but it's just like you talking about a whole life that I don't even know about. So it's like I can't really, support you in that way. So just finding those crowds, that's been like the biggest challenge. And it's still a challenge, to this day, even though things have like steadily been growing. It's just like now I gotta think not just America, but worldwide. You know what I'm saying? How
Worldwide.
can I find those
Mhm.
people in all those different countries and things like that? So that's
But
been the
you
big.
But you know what? Having interviews with like different artists on different genres, I've noticed that some say that it's easier now, and then some say it's harder. But I think like back in the day when CDs existed, like you go out there and you give a CD, you be like, hey, listen to this CD. I think both methods work together because yes, it can like take off on the internet and you can go somewhere, but you still have to keep up. Like you say, you have to keep up with the trends and how people feeling and that type of thing, the following and all of that in order to get somewhere in the music industry now. To me, I mean, I don't know. What you think?
Yeah, I would say it's easier because we have more tools.
Hmm.
So it's easier in that sense. Like every individual artist has the capability of doing it. It's not easy work to get it done. That's why a lot of times it used to be like labels, and they would have different people that did certain things for the artist, so the artist didn't have to worry about it.
Right.
So yes, we have more access to the tools to do it on our own. So that makes it quote unquote easier. But
Mm.
to do that amount of work, you understand why artists had labels behind it because
Mm.
it's a lot of different jobs, you know, and to
Right.
be an artist and a marketer and a social media handle and you know what I'm saying, like all those different things. It can't. It's time consuming. It's expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes up a lot.
Hmm.
So you're right. It is a little bit of both. It's easier, yeah, but it's also harder too because you realize how much work the, the individual person has to do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It
it's a lot.
is.
It's definitely.
So, who are some of your biggest influences in the music industry?
So when it comes to rap music, my base is like late 90s, 2000s, like New York hip hop. So you talking like Nas,
Oh,
Styles P,
yes.
Jadakiss, um, like those are like foundation. Wu Tang, we talking Dipset, like the whole 90s, 2000s, like New York scene is
Best
kind of
time.
where, listen, they was spitting. They was rapping
Yes.
for real. And that's kind of where I got like that real love and appreciation for it. 'Cause just like how everybody was able to like tell their stories in all these different like unique ways and make it sound, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's tough and it's
Real
hard. And
good.
they also able to show all this range and they could talk about this subject and that subject. And it just like, it blew my mind. It was just like, wow, like you can talk to somebody while rhyming and making it cool and get them sing along too. Like as a young kid, it really blew my mind. So that's been like my foundation. But as I've grown, I've started to like appreciate the uniqueness of different pockets and different spaces. So like currency is a big influence of mine.
Mm.
And kind of like how he raps in his flow. Wale is a big influence of mine. How he's able to like, like be more like poetic and you know what I'm saying, like structure his bars and like his word choices and how he's able to like articulate himself. I think that's extremely
Hmm.
cool. A lot of dudes out on the West Coast. Um, some of the OGs out on the West Coast, Snoop, Dre, the newer cats. I'm a big
Hmm.
Kendrick fan. Um, like Absol is one of my favorite rappers. Schoolboy Q, you know what I'm saying? Like Vince Staples, he be rapping, you know. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Like
Yes.
I like and I gravitate towards artists that like stand on their square. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this is who I am. This is my
Authentic.
style. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate it. Like it makes me want to invest in them in their story. I want to find out what they got going on behind the scenes. I want to see if I can support because it's just like even though they might not be the most critically acclaimed, it's like they understand the essence and what it takes to actually be yourself, the hard work it takes to actually be yourself in a place that wants you to be
Exactly.
something else. You know what I'm saying? And I have so much respect for that because I think that's a good example that people need to see, especially folks, young people that look up to like artists and stuff like that. If you can
Hmm.
look up to an artist that stands on being himself authentically,
Something.
even if that means I got to take the long road, I think that's a much better example than just looking up to
Exactly.
artists that, do whatever is trendy.
Right. And
So
those
yeah,
artists didn't mind working either. They worked and hard until they got where they need to go. So artists now they want to get things right now. But those artists, they work, they went in the streets, they gave out these CDs, they did what they had to do to get where they're at so they can appreciate being where they're at now. To me,
that
you know?
no, you're
So that
absolutely right. That's how I feel too. Is the appreciation because the work that you put in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm,
and it's merit in that. Like, I'm not gonna stop you. If you have an opportunity to be successful tomorrow, I'm not gonna be like, oh nah, you shouldn't do that. Because then I'm coming off like
right.
I'm a hater. You know what I'm saying? But I would just
Mhm,
tell you, with that, you still gotta have a certain level of discipline because just as quickly as
exactly.
you got it, you can lose it just as quickly. Like that's
Mhm,
normally how life works. Like, with dudes with girls. Normally how you get it is how you lose her. It's the same thing when it comes to money and opportunities. It's like however it plays out for you to get it, always think in the back of your mind, it can play out the same exact way for you to lose it. So
exactly.
you got to be disciplined. You got to have structure. You got to have a plan. You got to have a backup plan. Like, and if you're given a handout, then use that handout to better yourself. Don't abuse the
Exactly.
handout. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you could collaborate with any artist, who would that be?
Oh man, I can only pick one.
Hey, pick a couple.
All right, cool. I'm gonna give you mine. If I could do three artists, I'm gonna keep it alive because there's a lot of artists that passed away that I would love to do stuff with.
Yeah, a lot. I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, we got a lot of great. Um, so right now, I would still want to do a song with Styles P. That's always been on the bucket. I would want to do a song with Styles. I would want to do a song with. I would want to do a song with J. Cole.
Oh yes.
I think I'll be able to. I think I'll be able to get on a Cole song, and it'll be pretty cool. And hmm, who do I want to put in that third spot? Um, that's a tough one. There's so many. It's
I'm
so
telling
many.
you,
It's
it
so many.
is.
It really is. I would want to do a. There's so many. I would want to do a song with Rihanna.
Okay, that'll be a good one. I'm surprised
Yeah,
you
I
didn't say
think.
Drake because everybody says Drake
Yeah.
because they think that Drake will put them on a map. You know how that is.
Exactly. But I don't think like that. So it's like,
Mhm.
what I'm saying? A song with Drake would be great. I'm sure it'll pop, but it's just like I would want to do a song with people that I know can bring like something out of me.
Mhm.
Like people that I respect for their craft, or people that I feel like um yeah, can bring something out of me. Like even with their Rihanna choice, like I feel like the type of music that she makes and her like Caribbean um like background, I feel like we could be able to make like a really fun track. Styles P, that's just like a respect
Mm.
thing. That's just like the OG, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like bucket list. I don't want to do a song with the OG. And I feel like with J. Cole, we'd be able to like have fun telling a real story. And then
Right.
I actually went to school in Fayetteville where he's from, so I'm sure we could like play on that. You know what I'm saying? Like and kind of like name drop some streets or something. You know what I'm saying? Like so I just feel like that to be
Nice.
like a fun track where we still able to like get a message across. So yeah, those would be my top three right now for sure.
So you went to school in Fayetteville. I'm located in Fayetteville.
Oh, were you in the Ville? Yeah, I
Yeah,
went to
I'm located.
Methodist. I
Okay.
went to Methodist University. Yeah, I was out there from 2011 to 2014.
Nice. What is a small world?
I
Nice.
know, right?
So what do you think makes the song? We already talked about this a little bit. The melody or the lyrics?
Unfortunately, it's the melody. It's the beat and the melody. That's what really makes the song. Because we've all heard songs where people are like spitting and they're talking about stuff, but if it's not catchy, if it's not smooth, if it doesn't like grasp your attention, it's hard for you to sit through. So it has to be a nice beat. It has to be a nice melody, and you got to be able to tell the story. I think that's what makes the elite artist elite. They able to give you something that if you're not listening to it, you can dance and have a good time.
Mhm.
But they can also give you something that you can dance and have a good time to. And if you listen to it, you get the message. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the next level. So
But you know what? There's so many songs out there that has a good beat that I don't even know what the words say because I'm listening to the
yeah,
beat. So sometimes that sometimes it ain't good that they have a good beat because then they're not listening to the message, they're just dancing.
yeah. But like you said, if you could get them to listen to it a second time or a third time,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Then they might start catching it. And it's easier to get them to hit that replay if they like the beat. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're
If they
right.
like
You're
that
right.
beat, they'll play it again. They'll put it in the playlist. They'll have it on. So
You're
yeah,
right.
that's you gotta catch their attention. You gotta catch their attention. You gotta catch their
You're
attention.
right.
So that's beat. That's like melody. And then, if you got the bars on top, and that makes a good song excellent. But we got a lot of good songs out here because, people, it's not that they can't rap, it's just that they're not really rapping about anything.
Right.
So it sounds nice and the bars are catchy and you can repeat them and they sound cool, but when you actually like sit back and you listen to it or you look at the lyrics, it's just like, I mean, he ain't really talked about nothing. He said these
Exactly.
two things they kind of rhyme together. Then he talked about two things over here that didn't really have nothing to do with the two things he talked about before, and then he kind of so
Exactly. And now they number one albums, and it's really nothing, no message there, no nothing. The music in the 90s, I have to say, is to me, I still listen to the 90s music because it had meaning. Even before the 90s, if you listen to some of that music, they had a reason to write. They had a meaning behind what they wrote too. So it just, I don't know. Music today is okay. I listen to some hip hop now, but mostly I still stay in the 90s. And it's sad.
yeah.
It's really sad.
And back then, every region had like a distinct sound, like a distinct
Hmm.
flow. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was in Detroit, like you knew you was in Detroit because they rap like they was in Detroit. If you was in New
Right.
York, you knew you was in New York because they rap like this from you. If you was in Miami, you knew you was in Miami. If you was in Houston, you know what I'm saying? Like, and to a certain
Exactly.
degree, you still have that today.
You
But
do.
how many artists you listen to and you can like, I don't know where they from. Like
Right.
they just sound like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that part is kind of what watered down the music a little bit. Like folks stopped
Yes.
being themselves and they just started being what was successful.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's why. But that's one of the beautiful things about music. Like I talked about, it's like a time capsule. So we can still go back and listen to the music from the '90s. You know what I'm saying? And we can like put ourselves in that environment. That's
Hmm.
how they tell the story of the piece, or you know what I'm saying? Like how they was able to. Like in that time, I think a lot of people call it the golden age because I think they was able to match like impeccable lyrics and storytelling and beats. Like it was like a perfect storm. You know what I'm saying? Like the music
Hmm.
quality was getting better and they were able to like really take you places with the beat selection,
Right.
with their rhyming scheme and how they, like the accents the different people
Yep.
had from
And
the
you
different areas that they was from. Like, yeah, it really took you places. It really
right.
did.
You felt it too. You felt what they were singing. You felt what they were
Mhm.
talking about. It's like no emotion, it's no lessons, it's nothing behind some of this music now, some of the music, but it's so many
Yeah,
talented artists out there that just haven't, made it yet. And it's sad, they're
yeah,
unique. So I get it. But
yeah.
so my as we wrap up our conversation, my most important questions for you today are for someone that's in your footsteps, what advice do you give them? And what's next for you? And how can people follow your journey as a artist? I know that's a lot in one, but I'm gonna let
Got
you
you,
answer all of that.
got you. All right. So the first one, somebody in my footsteps. What advice? What I have for them? I would say discipline is important. So find ways in your life where you could practice. Get yourself a routine. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, and just and stick to it for a while. Go through the ups and downs. Go through the not wanting to do it and still having to do it. Go through the, what I'm saying, feeling so great about it, it doesn't feel like it's work. Um, Try to be as disciplined as you can with all the things in your life because that's going to help you navigate whatever your field is, whether it be music or, what I'm saying, like whatever form or entrepreneur situation that you take on, having that discipline is gonna help propel you to heights that you didn't really know. You got to believe in yourself and you got to invest in yourself. That would be the other piece of advice I give you. And that can manifest itself in a whole bunch of different ways. So that's the homework you need to do to figure out, hey, what do I need? What kind of support do I need? What kind of people do I need around? What are my strong points? What are my weak points? You know, and the only way you can know that is you got to invest in yourself. You got to spend time with yourself, figuring out who you are. You got to take care of yourself to the point where you're not just in survival mode. You thrive. So you can actually know what's going on. And it's a lot more, but I feel like having discipline, investing, and believing in yourself is a good two-step foundation to propel you to whatever height you're trying to reach. What's next for me? Music-wise, I'm working on another project. I like to drop something at least once a year. So I definitely want to get something out maybe by fall. So I'm trying to put the pressure on myself to get something done for sure. Um, got some shows and stuff coming up. I'm trying to stay busy and active this summer. So I'm gonna be out and about doing different things or just traveling with the family. Trying to build up some experiences and some life stories so I could, put it on wax and tell the people. Um, Outside of that, I'm still competing in my martial arts and stuff. Trying to find more tournaments and competitions to get into. So I'm just gonna try to be super active this summer when it comes to that. I'm gonna be outside with it. So if you see me, say what's up. And then you can follow me. Just follow my story on social media. I try to post, as much as I can, but I'm also a person that likes to put my feet on the grass. So I'll be on the go. But it's Marlo Farin on Instagram. That's MarloFarin across the pond for Marlo Farin. Um, on Instagram, and that Instagram page got all my other links. They got my Twitter, Marlo Farin. They got my music page, Marlo G3. They got my TikTok on there. Everything is linked on that Instagram page, Facebook, all that good stuff. So follow me Instagram, Marlo Farin, MarloFarin. And you'll see across all my social media platforms, I'll drop little tidbits, keep people updated on what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? Show you the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs, and just wait for the music to come out. For sure, and you definitely get the full story then. Or you'll be able to take the little pieces and put it together like a puzzle. It's on you to figure it out. Sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for giving that shout out where everybody can follow you. Or do you have another album that's coming out soon?
Yeah, so I'm working on something. I got a name, but I ain't gonna say it yet. I don't have a date yet, but I am in the lab. Me and my DJ, we are cooking up. We are working on something. So new music is gonna be coming out this year for sure.
Okay, so you got to make sure you shoot that to me. I don't know if you're on Facebook with me or not, but you got to make sure you send it to me so I can promote it for you as much as I can because I'll run it, and try to get you some support.
There we go. I appreciate that. If you're not already tapped in, you're definitely gonna get tapped in after this for sure.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you so much for being on Breaking the Silence. And not only that, moving around from October, I want to get you in sooner because I was like, that's a long time. I said, so let me just move him into season 3 a little bit. So thank you so much for adjusting your schedule just to make this
Absolutely.
happen.
Yeah, man, you got to be flexible in life. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
But yeah, nah, I
definitely.
want to thank you, having me on the platform, asking the questions that you asked, allowing me to be able to express myself and show the people who I am a little bit. So appreciate you being a professional and doing your job to the utmost. Salute to you. Now I realize we got some field ties, you know what I'm saying? So we locked in for real now.
Locked in. We locked in.
Let's
You got
do
to
it.
know it.
Let's do it. There we go.
Definitely. And for those that are listening out there, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Breaking the Silence. And make sure y'all download this song. Put it on your playlist. It's on mine. It's on my playlist. Locked in forever. And whatever he puts out after this is locked in forever. I'll always support my guests that come on my platform. So stay tuned for what he does have coming next and be ready to support. We gotta support. Support is the key to winning. It's just the key. The dream is free, they say, but you gotta hustle. You gotta hustle. You gotta work hard to make it happen. So make sure you tune in to the next episode of Breaking the Silence, and make sure you support somebody today, so we all can win. And tune in to the next episode of Breaking the Silence. Thank you so much to everyone that has supported me on this journey. I really appreciate everything that you have done thus far. Words will never be able to express the gratification that I have within my heart. Continue to like, share, and subscribe.